Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. So today is a very sad vlog. We found out yesterday that our older foster child that we have, which is our second foster placement, will hopefully tomorrow be going and leaving our home and going somewhere else, which seems like a better situation for them. So that's like a good thing, but it's really sad because we're losing them. Also, during this video, I have the littlest one with me. I'm learning that filming with kids is really hard because of noise. They make a lot of noise, and I cannot control that. So if you hear little babbles or you hear toys playing in the background, please disregard, because I want to get through this as quick as possible, and I can't keep pausing every 5 seconds to like re-say what I'm saying because of that. So I'm gonna try and keep an upbeat attitude about this, but inside I'm dying. Yesterday was a lot of tears, a lot of sadness, but I thought I would talk a little bit about what does that look like for us. So let's get cozy, let's get comfy and sit down for a second and talk about that. Sorry that the lighting is a little bit weird. I'm starting this pretty early in the morning, so bear with me. Let's talk about what has this process kind of looked like. We talked about how we got both of our foster kids, but what does it look like when one of them is going to leave? So we are taking it day by day. We truly thought we would have this foster child until the end of the year. At least. I mean, I've already bought some Christmas presents. I had bought their Halloween costume. Like, we truly believed from everything we were being told that we would have this kid for a while. And if you follow me on TikTok, or maybe I've mentioned it on here a little bit, probably not as much, this child had a lot of trauma, had really hard moments. There were definitely moments where we were like, okay, is this gonna work out? Like, can they stay here? We had a lot of moments like that. But we love them so much. And I'm gonna try not to cry in this video, because that's embarrassing. We don't cry on camera. But know that my foster mom heart is breaking. And so we just thought we were gonna have them a long time. There were parts of that made us upset because they were a lot to deal with. But what a blessing this child has been in our family. We love them so much. And so yeah, that being said, obviously that's not what's happening. So let's start this week, because nothing has happened until this week. It is currently a Thursday when I'm filming this. So yesterday was a Wednesday. Let's start on Tuesday. Tuesday, I got a call from her case manager saying that the child had an opportunity, and I can't be too specific on details here, so kind of fill in the gaps where you can. The child had an opportunity to go and spend some time with their family for a long amount of time, like almost 2 weeks amount of time. And they were asking my opinions, asking my thoughts. I thought it was a good idea because they were thinking about a potential placement with this family. So I was like, that could be a cool trial. Thinking the kid would do this and come back. So that was on Tuesday. Didn't hear anything back. I knew they were going to try and file for that and see if they could get that taken care of, but it was just an idea that we were throwing around. Cut to yesterday, which was Wednesday. I got a phone call around lunchtime maybe from the caseworker saying that went through, everything was fine. They had to file it with a judge. The judge ordered that would be a good idea, but the judge came back and said, if we're going to do that, then why not just leave her there after this family time is over. So there are some steps that the foster kid's family has to go through for that to be 100%. So at the time that I'm filming this, it's more of a 90% this is going to happen. There's still a 10% where this could go wrong and not work for the child. There's just some things that have to go on for this to work perfectly. So there's still the slightest chance that this doesn't pan out, but we're preparing as if it will. Originally, they were going to take the child today, and we had plans this evening that the child had been so excited for all week. So that's just not gonna work for them. And also just like, we want a final day. Oh, this is hard to film. Okay. So that being said, The plan as I know it is that tomorrow morning they will pick the child up. They will go to their family time. Hopefully they have an amazing time. As long as every check is done, every test is done, everything is passed, that will be the last time we see the child. We are supposed to pack up enough for the child to do the family visit, okay? So the 2 weeks that I said they were originally supposed to be gone, that is all we're packing for right now. Because like I said, there are still checks that have to happen for this to be a permanent placement option. So that's what I'm packing today. I'm also told to start packing up everything else, because if this works out, after the 2-week period, I will basically get a text or a call saying, hey, everything's great. Let me come pick up her stuff today. Or I could get a text saying this isn't working out, they didn't pass checks, they didn't do this, and then they come back. But I'm supposed to prepare as if they're gone. So today I figure I want to get all the sadness out today so I don't have to deal with it tomorrow. So the child is at school today. They have an after school event that we're going to. And then when they get home, we have my parents and Zach's parents coming over to say their goodbyes. The child really isn't gonna have a whole lot of time with their toys or anything anyways. So my plan right now is to pack everything up, and then if the child asks about it, to say basically that I was cleaning and organizing, and if they want something from the pile, they can have it, but I was just cleaning. We are supposed to keep the child kind of out of the loop, which is heartbreaking. I don't know why it's that way. I can't imagine being her and not knowing what's going on. But we were basically told that tomorrow we have to say goodbye without saying goodbye. We have to not clue the child in on that they might not come back here. So it's just heartbreaking that we won't get a proper goodbye for a child that we love, and that this could be a total blindside to the child. We've never been through this, so I don't know what the best course of action is. This could be the best way to do it. I really have no idea. We are just going based off of what our caseworkers have told us, and they've been through it a lot more times. So I'm trusting that this is gonna be the best for her. And it doesn't matter if it's the best for us, because we're not the ones going through the trauma. So we're just thinking about the kid. And this is probably the most raw and honest you'll see me on camera. But I wanna document how I'm feeling, because this is a lot. This is what we signed up for. We only had her for over 2.5 months, and we love her so much. So I can't imagine if we had a kid for like years. I just can't imagine. So this is the process. It is getting too attached and being devastated when they leave, or just the thought of them leaving. This video is gonna be packing up and showing you how I'm going about this, and you can let me know if I'm doing it wrong, or you can let me know if I'm doing it right. I don't know, but I just want to document the process for you, because you guys have followed through this journey, and I'm sure you guys would have questions about this. If you have any other questions that I don't answer in this video, bless you, that I don't answer in this video, please leave them down below. And also follow me on TikTok, because I post a lot on TikTok of just instant updates, because it's so much easier over there. I don't have to edit anything. So anyways, let's get into the organization part of this video and try not to cry anymore, which I probably will. One of our goals when we started foster care was that we never wanted to leave, or never wanted to let a kid leave our home with their stuff in trash bags. But this kid came with a ton of stuff. This kid has so many things, and I have 0 boxes. So we are sending one of our thrifted suitcases for the family time, but everything else is going to have to come in trash bags. I'm gonna make them super nice black ones, but that's what I've got. And they've got a lot of stuff. So you'll see what I'm talking about whenever you see the big picture, because it's a ton of toys, a ton of stuff, a ton of clothes. So I'm going to try and pack up a suitcase right now of, I'm gonna just try and load the suitcase up with as many things as I can. Clothes wise, I'll probably pack a couple of toys and stuff, but give them to the caseworker and not to her, because again, she doesn't know that she's going for family time. She doesn't know anything. Oh, that's so aggravating. So anyways, that's my plan right now. Pack as much into this suitcase as I possibly can. Let's go. I'm using this hand to cover up the baby, but I thought I would show you just some of the foster child's stuffy collection. That's only some of them. So do you see how I'm going to need a bag? Like, this is my hand next to all of them. So let's pack them up. I also created another reason why I'm going to be packing them up. Sometimes the dog comes into the room and grabs them off of her bed and takes off with the toys, and she doesn't like that. So if she asks, I'll just say the dog's getting into it and I put it away. As I'm going through these, I also have to separate which ones are the ones that they brought versus the ones that we already had, because they only are taking the ones that they brought. Bag number 1, full. Okay guys, 2 things. 1, it's been like a month since this happened, and 2, I'm sick. So bear with me as I film the rest of this video. I filmed the part that you've already seen, like I said, 3 weeks ago when it was happening. And after it happened, I just like went into this like slump of thinking like we're gonna get another placement soon or something. And I like had no time for myself during having 2 kids. So I like went into this, not slump, but just like this me time where I was still being a parent to the younger of the 2, but still like I had a lot more time for myself. And so I used it, and that meant not doing a whole lot of this. So let's finish this video. Bear with my voice. You last saw me like packing things up. That went fine. We packed everything up. It was a very sad time. We spent, I think that was Thursday that you saw. Thursday night we spent with my family and Zach's family and just loving around this child who really had no idea what was going on, but we just wanted to show love for the last night. Me and Zach were very intentional around bedtime, just praying over this child and just like praying over this transition for this child and just taking those extra times to get our hugs in and just our love in. And then we spent Friday morning doing just fun stuff. We made breakfast together and we just like chilled, and the child at that point knew that their caseworker was going to come over and that they had a surprise. They were going to take them somewhere and it was a surprise. So they did know that at that point. It was really sad when they left. When the caseworker arrived, she filled in a little more detail for the child, and the child was very excited to go and do what the caseworker had mentioned. So that was really reassuring that she was excited and not nervous or scared. And then it was still really hard to say goodbye because the child really thought that they were coming back, and there was a possibility they would. So we did not want to tell them that that wasn't a possibility. Everything ended up working out perfectly fine for the child. So that was the last time we saw them. Now what we did after that, we took probably 2 days of like just being sad. Honestly, it was just 2 days of being sad. And then it started getting better. Now, I think almost a month later, we're at a point where we're just really happy for that kid. That seems to be working out for them. Obviously, we won't get a ton of updates, but their caseworker knows that our door is always open. And so we just pray that that is a good, safe spot for the kid while their parents try to get it together. We feel good about that. Now, here are some ways that we honored that child. One, as I think I stated previously, once everything was finalized, which was about 2 weeks after the child actually left our house, that's when they came back and got the majority of her things, which I will show a picture or a video or something It was a ton of stuff. And once that happened, we sent with the caseworker letters from everyone who was in my family or Zach's family that was heavily involved with watching and taking care of her. We sent photos of all of us so that she can remember all of us. And then I personally made my own photo book that had like literally like 200 pictures. Like we only had this child for 2.5 months and it had tons and tons of pictures of things that we did and just like showcasing her personality. And so we did that, and we just had like the week that happened was like us just remembering her. We put up some pictures around the house and just like, yeah. Now I think we're good. We're in a good place with it. I wish that we could still be in her life, but I understand that we were only just a moment in her life, and I hope that she goes on to live a amazing life. And yeah, so that's what it looked like, that transition period. Yeah, there's not really much else I can say about that, but if you follow Me for Me and updates on my life, just know that there is a possibility that we receive another placement this week, the week that this is going up, because I'm about to upload this. So prayer for us, because it's looking like we might be taking in 2 kiddos extra. We have 1 right now. We might be taking in 2 more, and we have to make that decision by next week. So just prayers that we'll make the right decision, and wisdom will come to us, and that the transition will be smooth. We do get to watch them and get to meet them and be around them before we make our final decision, because of the circumstances. It's a big decision. Yeah, so I will definitely update you guys on what we decide for that, but I hope you guys really enjoyed this video of what the foster care system looks like when the child leaves your home. Obviously, it's not always this way. It can be a million different ways, but this was our first experience with it. And I hope the Lord is blessing you in so many amazing ways this week. And I cannot wait to see you guys in my next video, whatever that may be. I will see you guys next time. Bye.